Before Persia, there was Palmyra, and before Palmyra, there was her. The silk and the salt and the smell of the east. My father sat still while the traders sought Congress, and watched both sides bargain and called it a feast. The colonnades caught the last light of the evening. The desert stretched wide past the gates of the town, and I was the girl who stood watching from doorways, who learned that the men who stand tallest bow down. I learned every language they brought to our table. I learned every face and the lie underneath. I learned that a kingdom is won in the quiet before it is won with the sword and the sheath. This is my city. This is my blood. This is the desert that made me. This is the gold and the flood. Before I was queen, I was watching. Before I was watching, I knew that everything Rome built on sand would return to the sand. It came through. The Persians sent envoys in silk and in silver. The Romans sent soldiers who smiled with their hands. My father grew old in the space between powers, a man who built bridges on other men's lands. But I was not built for the space between powers. I was not built to stand still at the door. I was the girl who stood counting the armies and quietly planning for more. I learned every weakness they brought to our table. I learned every crack in the walls that they built. I learned that the empire that looks like forever is always one winter away from the silt. This is my city. This is my blood. This is the desert that made me. This is the gold and the flood. Before I was queen, I was watching. Before I was watching, I knew that everything Rome built on sand would return to the sand. It came through. Palmyra, you taught me the weight of the sky. Palmyra, you taught me that nothing gets to not die. The Silk Road runs through us. The empires bend near us, but none of them made us, and none disappear us. We stand at the crossroads of everything built, and I am the daughter of all of it. This is my city. This is my blood. This is the desert that made me. This is the gold and the flood. They came from the west and the east to our table. They came and they bargained and left, and I am the daughter of every last empire that passed. let the men decide. Courtiers gathered to see what I'd do. They waited for weeping, for wailing, for breaking. They waited for any sign I was through. My son was still small and his name was the lever. A boy on the throne means a woman behind. I let them believe it, I gave them the fiction and kept what was mine in the back of my mind. They brought me the sword as a relic, a symbol, a thing to be locked in the vault with his bones. I took it, I held it, I did not return it, and none of them dared to say, put it down. I did not take this sword, I inherited it. The blood on the blade is not mine, but I will carry it. You gave me the boy and the title of regent. You gave me the room and the door. You should have asked what I'd do with the doorway that no one had opened before. They came with their counsel, their comfort, their caution, their lists of the things a good widow should do. Remarry for safety, surrender for wisdom, bow to the Senate and smile and come through. I listened to all of it, thanked them for coming, and watched as they left with their plans in their hands. The throne room was empty, the sword was still with me, and Palmyra was waiting for someone to stand. They brought me a kingdom wrapped up in a warning, a crown with conditions attached to the gold. I took it, I wore it, I kept all the conditions, then quietly, quietly let the conditions go cold. I did not take this sword, I inherited it. The blood on the blade is not mine, but I will carry it. You gave me the boy and the title of regent. You gave me the room and the door. You should have asked what I'd do with a doorway that no one had opened before. He was a king who kept peace between giants. He was a wall, and the wall is now gone. But I am not a wall. I am not a boundary between other men's countries. I am not the space between powers. I am the power. I did not take this sword, I inherited it. And every man in this room who watched and permitted it. You gave me the throne and the child and the silence. You gave me the night and the door. You should have asked what a widow does after, when she has been quiet before. They said, grieve. I did. And then I picked up the sword. He laid the whole world out across the table between us, the Greeks and the Persians and all they had built. Speak 5 languages, then learn to think past all of them into the space where the meanings tilt. I was not his student for long. I outran every question he gave me, pushed past the edge of the maps he had drawn, and named what I found on the other side. He gave me the words, I built them a throne. He showed me the world, I made it my own. He gave me the fire, I gave it a name, and everything Longinus taught me burns in me still like a flame. When Rome sent its anger in letters of warning, there is a line he said you should think before crossing. But Longinus, the line was already behind me the day that I stopped counting the cost. He fell silent, he knew I had been taught far too well to unknow it. He had given me the world, and the world lay ahead. He gave me the words, I built them a throne. He showed me the world, I made it my own. He gave me the fire, I gave it a name, and everything Longinus taught me burns in me still like a flame. Aurelian took him in autumn, so only a blade he had given a queen. But you cannot unlight what a great mind ignited. You cannot unmake what a great mind has He gave me the words, I built them a throne. He showed me the world, I made it my own. He gave me the fire, I gave it a name. Aurelian erased him, but I carry what remains like a sword, like a flame. Desert breathes fire and the caravan's gone. My general Zabda leads the vanguard south. The Nile is a rumor still forming in my mouth. Through Syria, through Sinai, through the merciless sand, every mile is a message to Rome's outstretched hand. The prefect in Alexandria sharpens his sword. He does not know yet what is coming toward. We do not stop, we do not slow, we do not ask permission from the empires below. The eagle lifts, the eagle turns, and everything Rome thought was permanent burns. The eagle of Palmyra flies over the Nile. Rome's grain is my grain now, every mile, every mile. Probus is fallen, the delta is mine. The eagle of Palmyra crossed the invisible line. Alexandria opened her gates to my name. The harbor, the lighthouse, the library's flame. I stood where the Ptolemies stood before me. I stood where the Caesars had planted their claim. And none of them held it, not one of them held it. The sand takes it all in the end regardless. But I am here now and the delta is breathing, and Palmyra's flag flies where the Roman one was. We do not stop, we do not slow, we do not ask permission from the empires below. The eagle lifts, the eagle turns, and everything Rome thought was permanent burns. The eagle of Palmyra flies over the Nile. Rome's grain is my grain now, every mile, every mile. Probus is fallen, the delta is mine. The eagle of Palmyra crossed the invisible line. I stood in the harbor at the end of the day. The sun on the water, the color of gold, and something inside me that had always been waiting finally opened, finally told that there is no ceiling, there is no far enough, that every map I have ever been given was drawn by someone afraid of what's up. The eagle of Palmyra flies over the Nile. Rome's grain is my grain now, every mile, every mile. Antioch, Egypt, the shores of the delta. The eagle of Palmyra has chosen its star. We do not stop, we do not slow. The eagle of Palmyra has further to go. The desert remembers every name it erased. This one it kept. From the pillars of Palmyra to the shores of the delta, from the Euphrates to the edge of the known world, the name Zenobia moves like a wall of cold weather. The banner of Palmyra, blood red and unfurled. No treaty was written that that could hold these borders. No emperor's patience could outlast this will. The grain ships of Egypt turned south by a queen's orders, and the breadbasket of Rome stood suddenly still. Not a regent, a ruler, not a widow, a war, not a name in the margins of someone else's story. A declaration, a dawn. I am the queen of the East. Augusta, the title is mine. I broke the Nile in my teeth. I redrew the imperial line. Let Rome send its legions like thunder. Let history record what it saw. The queen of the East stood at the summit and opened her mouth, and the world held its jaw. From Antioch to Anatolia, the borders kept moving. The maps drawn in Rome kept arriving too late. Longinus gave voice to the power already living. Zabdas gave iron to the vision made real. The woman who sat on the throne of Palmyra rose from the seed of 1,000 dead kings and claimed every title, every border, every era, and stood where no shadow of doubt ever clings. Not a regent, a ruler, not a widow, a war, not a name in the margins of someone else's story. A declaration, a dawn. I am the queen of the East. Augusta, the title is mine. I broke the Nile in my teeth. I redrew the imperial line. Let Rome send its legions like thunder. Let history record what it saw. The queen of the East stood at the summit and opened her mouth, and the world held its jaw. Augusta of the East, Augusta of the East. The proclamation rose from Palmyra like fire. Augusta of the East, Augusta of the East. And the old world cracked along its seam. Not in his name, in mine. Not in shadow, in light. Not at the edge of the map where the women are written, but at the absolute center of the fight. The desert gave me my throne. The sun gave me my crown. The empires of men built their ceilings above me, and I burned every last ceiling down. I am the queen of the East. Augusta, the title is mine. I broke the Nile in my teeth. I redrew every line. Let Rome send its legions like thunder. Let history carve what it saw. The queen of the East stood at the summit, untouchable, unbreakable law. Augusta, 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 Augusta. This land remembers, this land remembers. I am the queen of the East. He did not rage. He did not call a council. He simply said, "Go." The scroll arrived by noon and was ash by evening. Aurelian does not keep what he has 10,000 boots on stone. 10,000 boots on stone. Not one of them singing, not one of them stopping. 10,000 boots on stone. He comes from the west, he comes with the iron. He does not send messengers, he does not send words. He comes from the west, the correction is coming. Rome does not negotiate, Rome does not turn. Rome does not turn. From Pannonia, Dalmatia, the Rhine and the Danube, the soldiers who've never been beaten, they march. The silence of men who don't threaten or posture, who've watched what an army looks like in the dark. The roads of the empire run east through the desert. They've carried this weight 60 times before. Every kingdom that burned left a record in Latin, filed in the archive. One more, 10,000 boots on stone. 10,000 boots on stone. Not one of them singing, not one of them stopping. 10,000 boots on stone. He comes from the west, he comes with the iron. He does not send messengers, he does not send words. He comes from the west, the correction is coming. Rome does not negotiate, Rome does not turn. Let him come. I have read every war that was lost before mine. I have held Egypt, I have held Syria, I have drawn every land. Let him come. I know what the iron cost, and I know what it weighs. I know every empire finds the edge of its reach. But the desert is wide, and the desert is patience, and some things Rome cannot teach. He comes from the west, he comes with the iron. He does not send messengers, he does not send words. He comes from the west, and the road is already open, and the boots are already moving, and they have not stopped. Across the dust they stand, 10,000 of them, 10,000 of us. I have not slept, I do not need to. To my riders, every hoof on this ground was your father's ground. Every sword in this let them file Palmyra. Unsolved, let them read us into their empire's ledger. We will teach them what the desert already knows. For Palmyra, for the sand, for the queen, for the last long ride of peace. For Palmyra. There is no sound where there was sound. My cavalry is gone, the standard is in the dust. The man who held it is in the dust. I held every inch I could hold. I held, I walk, and my feet still work. I walk, and the dust does not know me yet. They asked me to sit still, and I refused. And here is what that costs. But I am still on this ground, and my name is still here. I am Zenobia, Augusta of the East, and I am still on this put gold on my wrists, as though gold could shame a queen, as though weight alone could teach me what ruin means. The street is white with noon, and Rome has come for ruins. They've lined the Via Sacra, waiting for the fall. The place where I come apart. My spine remembers Palmyra. My hands remember how to hold the reins. My throat remembers how a queen moves through the world. I set my shoulders back, left foot, right foot, through the fire of noon. You gave me the chains that crowned me. You raised me before and I hear it first. A silence in the cheering, one woman at the front, not looking at my shame. She is watching how I carry this. She is watching how I walk. The shift moves through the crowd like heat. The faces are not the same. They came for a broken queen. They found the other kind. And I feel it in my spine, in my hands, in my stride. The weight of the becoming what was always mine. My spine remembers Palmyra, and Rome is remembering me. You gave me the chains that crown me. You gave me the stage. You raised me before your whole empire and sealed me into your age. You meant this as ending. You wanted the fall, the woman you changed. You paraded through Rome, was never yours at all. And then I see him at the edge of the colonnades, where the shadow breaks. The man who crushed my armies, who ordered these chains, who stood in Palmyra when the towers fell. I turn my face toward his, and I do not look away. I do not look away. I will not look away. Every step through the city, every link, every stone, every Roman eye on me has led to this. Look at me, look at me, Aurelian. And I hold his eyes, and the emperor of Rome is the first to look away. Is the first to look away. Aurelian, you commanded the world. Aurelian, and you could not hold my eyes. You could not hold my eyes. Augusta,
Queen of the East,
in Rome's triumph,
in Rome's stone,
in Rome's mouth, now they cannot be
unsaved.
You gave me the chains that crown me. You gave me the stage. You wrote my name into your triumph and gave me your age. You meant this as ending.
Carved me in gold.
Augusta, Queen of the East, is a story that will be told and told and told and told and told. I wake, and for a moment I am still someone. The body remembers how a queen lies down. The hand reaches for a cup, for a hand that was next to it, for a voice I have not stopped listening for. And then I remember, and the morning falls inward, and I am here again. There is a grief that does not cry. It sits behind the eyes like weather. I miss Longinus, the way you miss your own breathing. I miss my son, the way the body misses a limb. I miss the woman who walked without flinching, who did not hesitate before her own voice. Is this the weight that the calm could carry forever? The silence that settles where empire once rang. Is this the cost of the woman who stood at the summit, the everything given? became. He is dead, Aurelian, stabbed in a field by his own man. And something in me that had not moved in a year moves. I laugh, I cannot stop.
I cannot stop.
He set me here to end, and he is in the ground that he made. And I am in the garden, and I am still here. Forgiveness, not the peace they promised. Just the afternoon, just the olive trees, just the sound of my daughter in another room. I thought I was only what I built. It turns out I am also what remains. There is a woman underneath the title who was here before Palmyra and did not leave when stylus and write the word I carved when the East was mine. Augusta in Aramaic for me. Not a prisoner, a scholar, not a remnant to reign, not a queen of the East that the empire has silenced. A title that outlasts its chains. Augusta, queen of the East, mine. Augusta. And the title remains. I gave them the legend, I kept the name. Augusta. Did I win, or did I survive? I think I have stopped needing to know. I have loved my hands again this year. I have laughed without planning to. I have slept a whole night through without a crown. The olive trees don't ask. They were here before Palmyra rose. They will be here when Rome is a name no one is sure they know. And the sun that rose on my proclamation rises here. The same sun. The olive trees are older than Palmyra. The sun here is the same sun. They wrote her name in the margin. They called her a curiosity. They wrote she was defeated. They forgot to mention she outlived everyone who defeated her. Half a column given to Palmyra, the other half to Aurelian's road, written as prologue to someone else's age. But the footnote forgot to mention the language. As the footnote forgot, she wrote her own name. The empire that broke her did not survive long enough to outlast her fame. Queen of the East, Augusta her name. Not prisoner, not footnote, not a rose to reclaim. She rose from the sand and she built from the stone. She was never theirs, she was always her own.
She was never there, she was never contained.
Queen of the East, Augusta, she was always this land. She read every philosopher Rome had buried. married, she spoke Aramaic and Greek and the tongue of the East. She sat at the table while generals took counsel and taught her commanders to think, not just feast. She declared herself Augusta, not by men's blessing. She took queen of the East and made it a vow. She named herself sovereign before Rome remembered that the woman they conquered is not conquered now. Queen of the East, Augusta, her name, not prisoner, not footnote, not rose to reclaim. She rose from the sand and she built from the stone. She was never there, she was always her own.
She was never there, she was never contained.
Queen of the East, Augusta, she was always this land.
Look at what they buried.
Look at what they paraded and called a defeat.
Look at what survived the empire that broke her.
Look at what still stands in the merciless heat. Augusta! The stone doesn't forget her. Queen of the East, carved where they tried.